प्यार से वतन में, उस मीठे से वतन में हो अव्यक्त वतन में हम उड़ के चले जाएं। ओ हम उड़ के चले जाएं उस प्यार से वतन में, उस मीठे से वतन में। जाना है वहाँ हमको जहाँ बाप और दादा है वो, जाना है वहाँ हमको जहाँ बाप और दादा है। बनना है संपूर्ण किया बाबा से वादा है, जो बाबा से किया था वो वादा निभाएंगे। हम उड़ के चले जाएं, ओ हम उड़ के चले प्यार से वतन में, उस मीठे से वतन में। ये देह ना याद आए, देहधारी ना याद आए हो, ये देह ना याद आए, देहधारी ना याद आए। ये पतित पुरानी सी हो दुनिया भी ना याद आए, याद आए तो बस अपना वो वतन ही याद आए। दुनिया से क्या लेना, वो नगरी हमारी है, हमको है वहाँ रहना। हम ज्ञान से सज धज के उस नगरी में जाएंगे। हम उड़ के चले जाएं, ओ हम उड़ के चले जाएं उस प्यारे से वतन में, उस मीठे से वतन में। वतन में है ठहरे हुए बाबा हमारे लिए, हो वतन में है ठहरे हुए बाबा हमारे लिए। कर रहे हैं इंतजार घर ले जाने के लिए। आकारी बन कर के हम वतन में जाएंगे। हम उड़ के चले जाएं, ओ हम उड़ के चले जाएं उस प्यारे से वतन में, उस प्यारे से वतन में, उस मीठे से वतन में, हो अव्यक्त वतन में। ओ हम उड़ के चले जाएं उस प्यारे से वतन में, हो उस मीठे से वतन में।
Om Shanti. Taking everyone's love remembrances when Baba invoked me, went to Baba, and I took drishti from Baba. Baba was merged in love of children. Baba is ocean of love. But even looking at children, and I think each one of us, we got lots of love and power from Baba. Said, Baba, I have brought book for you. Baba, with lot of love, accepted book. And Baba said that for future, you have aimed to be Lakshmi Narayan. But at confluence age, you have aimed to, generally we say to become like Baba. Baba said no, it's becoming like Bab Dada. And then Baba showed that how Brahma Baba had this constant, his intellect was with Shiv Baba. So they both were combined. So Brahma Baba had to do karma yoga, take care of yagya, take care of so many children. But actually, because his intellect was connected with Shiv Baba, Shiv Baba being almighty was giving the power to sustain and do everything. But if that intellect is with the action or with children, then there cannot be power. And that's the secret, Baba said, of Brahma Baba was consistent, had tolerance, had love, has courage, all the qualities which were required, all the powers which were required to sustain the yajna, to continue with God's task. So Baba said, each one of you. So when Baba was saying it, and I was smiling because I think that is the important point, but most difficult point, right? To intellect to be with Baba, not with any soul, not with, even we will say we don't remember, we don't have attachment, but intellect not to be engaged, concentration and focus is different. But when intellect is, and whether it is circumstances, whether it is souls or whatever it is, so that we are not constantly able to receive Shiv Baba's power. So Baba said, even your aim is to be like Bab Dada, but then you have to be combined in the sense of have intellect with Baba. And Baba said that because of that, whatever directions or whatever dharana, because directions have to be changed into dharana. So all that Brahma Baba was able to do because of this connection with Shiv Baba. So you all also want to follow all directions of Baba, but there is difference. You accept, you want to do, but there is gap between acceptance and doing. You follow directions, but not able to have dharana of same kind. So then Baba said that always keep in front of you Bab Dada as your inspiration. Baba said that time is delicate and will be more delicate. And more souls will feel empty, feel like ignored, very mentally. They will have many emotions. So you all children have to be powerful, have to be strong. And based on that, you will be able to serve others. But Baba also said that Brahma Baba, until last moment, did service. Mama also until last moment did service. And that service was by big example, big embodiment. So like I went back into looking at how Brahma Baba until last moment was able to serve. And then he just left. Mama also was inspiration, a good example until end. So Baba says, if you are consistent, then in the end you will also be like that. But most important to have intellect with Baba. So I said, Baba, even for when I came, sat here, my intellect was so much pulled towards you. I was looking at Baba as if he was helping. Baba said he definitely have help, but also you all have to pay attention. And then it was very lovely to be there with Baba and the family. Lots of love to everyone. Om Shanti.
वो दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
आप भी अनुभव कर सकते हो जीवन बंद क्या है, जीवन मुक्त क्या है। क्योंकि आप सबका वायदा है, सबका वायदा है। अनेक बार वायदा किया है। क्या करते हो? वायदा याद है? किसी से भी पूछते हैं आपके इस भ्रमण जीवन का लक्ष्य क्या है? क्या जवाब देते हो? बाप समान बनना है, पक्का है ना? बाप समान बनना है ना? कि थोड़ा थोड़ा बनना है? समान बनना है ना? बनना है समान, कि थोड़ा भी बन गए तो चलेगा, चलेगा। उसको समान तो नहीं कहेंगे ना। तो पाप मुक्त है या बंधन है? अगर किसी भी प्रकार का, चाहे देह का, चाहे कोई देह के संबंध, माता पिता बंधु सगा नहीं, देह के साथ जो कर्म इंद्रियों का संबंध है, उस कोई भी कर्म इंद्रियों के संबंध का बंधन है, आदत का बंधन है, स्वभाव का बंधन है, पुराने संस्कार का बंधन है। तो पाप समान कैसे हुए? और रोज वायदा करते हो पाप समान बनना ही है। बच्चे, मैं आपके सदा साथ हूँ।
Om Shanti. Merciful Bestower, unending, constant Bestower. Any child who came in front of Brahma Baba did not go away without some experience. In the same way, check whether you gave something to whoever came in front of you or whether that person went away empty handed. Those who are full of treasures cannot stay without giving to others. So become an unending, constant bestower. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 20. Merciful and bestower. Unending, constant bestower. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Happy Sadguruvar to everyone. Baba is talking about bondage and relationship. And it's very interesting to have relationship with your own organs, not the bondage. Every time Baba says something, like it needs more reflection, more churning. And then Baba also reminded us we have to be like Father, Brahma Baba. I think that, for me, because I had seen him, had been with him for a while, I can instantly, some of the Baba's actions and expressions come in front of me. And to relate to that, like while eating, let's say, one of the very important, Baba always used to say, in remembrance of Baba, I, the soul, feeding this body. In remembrance of Baba, I, the soul, feeding this body. So that awareness, even Baba says, I also forget Baba. But when you sit next to Baba while eating, you could see that he's so much merged. He's not into food or what he's eating. His intellect is not there. His intellect is still has that awareness, simriti. And then he's feeding body. Now that is pure relationship, right, with body. Baba in the morning will speak poorly, come out, and then he will walk towards his room. Sometimes when it's not very cold, Baba will go out of gate and they all will walk. And then Baba will say, whatever Baba spoke last Kalpa, Baba spoke same. Now generally that would happen to all of us. Oh, I really prepared something else. I should have said this. I didn't say, or I should have not said. Some thoughts to come, right? Now that's bondage with my action, right? Of speaking. But Baba has respect, relationship. Whatever Baba had to speak last Kalpa, he spoke. We use that also, but that's more, okay, full stop, don't think anymore. So I also look at that aspect very much. And then how Baba, with his body, has beautiful relationship. Of course, Baba the way he kept his body, he was very clean and neat, clean, respected body, the relationship with body, but also keep reminding this is Baba's chariot. It's a very powerful thought, right? So I have to keep chariot okay, no? So that awareness in us is Baba's chariot, not Shiv Baba is entering in this, but Baba's service, for Baba's service. It's a very powerful awareness. So this concerns and fluctuations which happen in the body immediately stops because not a bondage with body. It's relationship that this body has to serve. That's what constantly I remind myself is Baba who has to use this body for service, or I also have to do whatever I can is for service. If not through actions, then through words. If not through words, at least through my attitude, my drishti, my vibrations. And this is the way actually we become consistent bestower. How you will be consistent? Can't all the time give knowledge, right? It's not all the time you do karma yoga. Baba had said through thoughts, words, and actions. Some way or other, keep serving. Anytime I find that my mind is not going in negative way, but has something where energy is not that high, I just stop it. Because when you are not feeling your mind is strong, whatever you think will be very weak thoughts, wasteful thoughts. And that makes you very, very much like, different emotions arise. As soon as I find this could happen, so sometimes body is little bit not, I immediately start strongly remember Baba. I say, I'm not going to think now. Just I have to remember Baba. So I keep remembering until again thoughts are elevated, thoughts are pure, thoughts are of courage. And this is the practice I do lot is whenever I find there are thoughts which are not really strong enough or questioning in a subtle way, lack of self-trust or whatever, I say, let me remember Baba. And then I realize that that's where the power comes. And you kind of heal and rebounds, and then your resilience also keep increasing. And I tell everyone to do that because you create your web of your own thoughts. You might think they are right, but they are emotional thoughts. They're not really in the right awareness when you are thinking. So stop them and remember Baba. And then after some time, maybe this morning I did for at least 20 minutes, half an hour. And then your whole elevated self, elevated awareness emerges. And everything looks so, no, not only that you have to be okay, but you have to make everything around okay. You have to create such lovely, powerful atmosphere so that others have that also energy. Because everything, we all are connected with each other, right? I might not doing karma yoga, someone else is doing, but that person also needs some energy, right? So if I am not doing, but my thoughts, my vibrations are helping others to remain full of enthusiasm, or if they are tired, they can again kind of feel, yeah, they could be okay. So is constant donor, constant bestower. If we want not only myself but Baba's whole yagya, every karma yogi in Baba's yagya gets power, strength, and continue to do it. I have to be consistent bestower. And also, as I said very beautifully, Baba explained, not the bondage, but relationship. Same could be not only one's own body, but with everyone else. It's not bondage, it's loveful relationship, spiritual relationship. I think it's very beautiful lesson. And this will make us unending and consistent bestower. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Mohini Didi.
Hello, Om Shanti.
Such a wealth of not just points, but things that you would want to reflect on. It almost seems anything additional now that was a full meal in itself. But I guess we can still take up a few questions if you have the time. Meanwhile, hello to the Avyakti Parivar and happy Satguru Var. It's again, I'm reminded by what you said of something that I was quoting last night, that you had said that when you move, and just like now when you mentioned coming out of that state, sometimes where the emotional thoughts create a web, that when you move, then everything else evolves, everything else moves as well. And so that's a real sense of being the benefactor, of being responsible, not just for one's own self. So there's no selfishness can be in that, but that it's the bigger picture. You realize the effect, the influence on others, on the atmosphere, on the vibration. So this really is indicative of a master in a sense. And Baba was mentioning today, again, this thing of Master Almighty. And he said, you know, there's some titles which Baba says that only he has. He was talking about being the Master Bestower. And the beautiful idea of the Master Bestower of self-respect. Maybe we'll get to that in a moment. But he also mentioned today a word that I don't think any of us use. And I wonder if there's a reason for that, or if it might change anything if we used it. And that is, today he said he was the servant. I think the word in Hindi is dasi, is it? Das or dasi? And so it doesn't feel like a complimentary word. And so, yes, we will say, I'm doing service, but we will never say, I'm a servant. Whereas Baba does. He says many times, I am your most obedient servant. I'm the servant of you children. Could we use that word? Would it be wrong? Would it be difficult? Has it ever come out of anyone's mouth, I'm a servant? Because of the connotations, huh?
I don't think we will say. I will say that I am your servant. I am at your service, I can say.
Right. No, not any individuals, but that I am a servant. You know, we'll say we're volunteers. We're volunteers. But
volunteer or servant, server.
Or server, right, exactly. I'm a server. But to say a servant, I mean, that's really indicative of Baba's complete humility, no?
I'm your obedient servant. That means I am
Yeah,
at your service,
yeah, yeah. But just wondering why, yeah, we wouldn't use that word, or it would be maybe
Mm.
misconstrued or misunderstood. But I wonder if I started using that word for myself, would it generate more feelings of humility and of surrender, and that I'm not the one who's, as you said, Brahma Baba was always connected, and so that whatever direction he was given, it automatically became dharna. And so, in the same way, I'm just thinking maybe I'll experiment with it. I'm a servant. Surely it would bring, because a servant, doesn't have their own, ideas or their own opinions or whatever. Everything is, the master is telling them what to do, and even whilst Baba tells us, use your own intellect. I think he said it today or yesterday as well. Use your intellect to find ways to serve.
Baba can say, because he always says, "You tell me what I can do for you." So
Yeah.
the way we tell Baba, "Please do this, Baba. Can you do this, Baba? Let's do this." As if that he said, "Oh, I'm your servant. You can keep telling me."
Mm.
I don't think that we can use that word. It won't be good in a way. But for Baba, he says, "You tell me what you want. I will do it."
Mm.
So
Right,
it's
but
like,
today he's categorically saying, I don't become the master,
no,
he
that
accepts command, but not,
in that,
of course.
yeah, that means master of the world, like golden age.
That's right. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what he's, yeah. Sometimes, some words always have to be put in a context that we
yeah.
understand. Mm.
Now, something else that you were saying, that I think it was in the Pogue message, that that time is delicate and it will become more so. Someone else just wrote to me this evening, and they were saying something very, very similar. And one of the things that you mentioned, I thought was very interesting, that, of course, the emotions that people are dealing with, but that souls will feel ignored. Very specifically was what you said. And so that you have to, serve. And so, how can we be mindful of that? Might we make that mistake of not seeing how emotional it may not come out physically, but that internally that people are very emotionally fragile? And we're seeing that especially with youth. And so, what attention do I need to be paying to
I
others?
think it is both ways. There are some who have those sanskars of always feeling not being loved, not being respected, not being asked. Even whatever you do for them, like there are some who always feel I am not loved, even if you give them a lot of love. So I think that maybe they have to go through that to settle their own karmic accounts, and then they will start feeling. I think it happens with every one of us at certain time that you are less given, you don't know my value, or I think it
Yeah.
happens. But then you gradually realize that it's me. I have to be in that self-respect, and
Mm.
then accept it. I remember that one time it did happen for a short time. And then now I realize that it was me. It was not one person or other people.
No, of course not.
When
Yeah.
I realized that, I look at others and I said, as much love you give, deep within they have something from the past sanskars where they feel I'm not given attention, or I'm not given fairly enough respect. But that could be sanskar, right? So
Yeah.
when that karmic account, the bondage is over, then that soul will appreciate, that no, I was given, but I couldn't feel it. I
Couldn't
didn't,
experience it. Yeah.
because
It's
someone who is in knowledge for longer years, everyone see them as senior, but if they don't see themselves as senior, it's not ego, but it's, we say, oh, she's our senior, but then senior has to be like senior, no?
yeah.
But then somewhere
Played a
emotion,
part.
yeah, that emotions will arise. But that's what I suggested today. Someone was feeling very kind of weak. I said, just remember, Baba. Don't go into that energy. Just remember, Baba. Why have to remember, Baba? I said, that's the solution. That's from the power will come. So I said, okay, you do actions, I will remember, Baba, so that you have energy to do what you're doing. So I think that we do understand with the experience that, and that's why I tell everyone, whenever you are emotional, don't think. As I said, that all kinds of unnecessarily wasteful, even negative thoughts start coming. Stop. Let me remember Baba. Even forcefully put your intellect with Baba. Think of Baba's qualities, and I think that's how I have feeling like in Bhog message Baba said, because Brahma Baba's intellect with Baba, he was getting power. So whatever was happening in Yagya amongst children, some left, but he was okay. Not only okay, but he said something very positive things for them. And we have to follow that example.
Yeah.
So I think this is the time whenever you find internally or externally, there is a situation. When I'm saying internally, that means you kind of going through something or some influence. Sometimes you hear certain things and you start relating it. Just stop it there. It's not beneficial, which we know. Remember Baba and get power from Baba.
Beautiful.
That journey will be more smooth and consistent.
Right. And going back to this thing of the relationship, as you mentioned with the organs, Baba had once Aviyak Baba, and I don't remember to whom he was talking. Maybe it was the daddies, maybe it was Daddy Janki, I don't recall. But he said your illness, it's not just that you serve despite your illness, but he said your illness becomes a means of service.
Hmm.
That it does service, in other words. And I was hearing it today, somebody was referencing, Brother Ken had continued to on with the program he'd been given despite having, fallen ill when he got here. And then I was remembering our other seniors, and they were saying, oh, how brave, how inspirational, etc. So the illness, in a kind of a way, becomes inspirational for others, seeing how it's managed. I always feel that I'm getting a tutorial when it comes to my turn.
That is why I tell everyone, you all are so healthy. Why are you wasting your energy by having wasteful thoughts or not doing as much you can do? Because you are lucky, you can do so much. We can do more on internal level. But even like I see people doing, I want to do, but I know I will mess up more. It won't be useful. I keep observing and say, oh, something I can do with hands or maybe little things. And so I always say to young ones, I said, you all are so healthy. And this is the time to do maximum as much in all different ways.
Yeah.
Of course, Brother Ken was a good example.
Right. That was, even if it was a small thing. Yesterday, you said you would talk about this today, but maybe there won't be enough time. Maybe maybe tomorrow we can go back to it again. And I like another, you talk about blessings a lot that we mentioned. Another thing that you talk a lot about is honesty and your faith in the workings of honesty and how honesty brings results and how maybe it makes our path easy. And how you see, you know, as you said, it's not that Baba keeps a chit of our accounts with him, that these things work automatically. And I would really like you to explain a little more, if not tonight, then tomorrow, how you separate these things, Baba and karma, and you know the Spanish people, or certainly this part of the world, they don't use the word punishment when it appears in the Murli. They use the word consequences. And that was a word I heard you use last night as well. So this whole thing of consequences and how these things are automatic, and so that it's not that there's going to be a Dharamraj standing over us or ignoring us or anything else, but would really like you to take us a little bit more deeply into how you see the workings. It's kind of like sometimes it feels like, you know, when Baba first starts teaching, then we're kindergarten, you know, so he explains using words and expressions and ideas and concepts that we were familiar with. But then as it goes on, he abandons those and takes us more deeply, that we're going more and more into the subtlety. And I'd like to hear that from you. Can we do that tomorrow maybe? Or maybe you could give us a little hint of how you see it.
I just say a few words that there are certain universal fundamental principles, and like God is truth and same is like the matter, you know, nature. Also there is eternity and the truth there. So now I am interacting with the nature, right? Let's say if there is a violence in my nature, somewhere the elements will react to that. And, you know, so whatever wrong I am doing, there will be reaction from the universe in somewhere. That means some element somewhere, the consequences you can say actually. And it's not that God has to come in the picture and say, look, you did wrong. But it will happen even otherwise. You know, but tomorrow I will give some examples.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I always believe truth, honesty, just be straight, you know. There is nothing to be scared of. And but generally people are scared of those qualities. Looking at the people, they might be punished. So they just manipulate or they will lie. But truth is truth, no? Stays truth. So if we start understanding deeply that some of these, like love, truth, peace, honesty, you know, all these are in the nature, these values.
Oh, interesting.
So
That
when
they're
you,
in nature. That's very, that's good.
when you break
Good.
it, then there are consequences. I don't know if you heard that Ken took something and he said, you know, which we used to believe when we were young. What is personality? So he didn't use word personality, but used to say, she's like that. That means there are certain elements within your body which, which are higher or less, or no, 5 elements, say
Yeah.
Ayurvedic talks. And he was saying that each one of us in the body, when those elements, in whatever proportion they are, also form our nature, temperament.
Mm.
And
It's also an aspect of astrology as well.
I now relate because when we were young, we in our family used to talk, leave her, she like fire, not say like fire, that she will become like that. Or
Right.
someone cries very quickly, then they will say,
Water.
yeah,
Yeah.
water. So
Yeah.
I think it's true, but we have to. I wanted this Saturday when we were together to go through this exercise and
Okay.
see how we can balance all five elements properly.
Saturday in the evening or when?
No, no, last Saturday we were
Oh,
together
last Saturday. I
in
see.
Edinburgh, we were doing Diwali.
Mm-hmm.
There was not enough time and they had another activity. But
Yeah.
it's something worth to explore, you know.
Yes, I'd heard about it and wondered if there was a recording of what Ken had done. Yeah, that I find that very fascinating. And
Mm.
would you talk more about it tomorrow?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, great. All
Oh,
right. Thank you so much, sister.
thank you.
Merciful Bestower, unending, constant Bestower. Any child who came in front of Brahma Baba didn't go away without some experience. In the same way, check whether you gave something to whoever came in front of you or whether that person went away empty handed. Those who are full of treasures cannot stay without giving to others. So become an unending, constant bestower. Now be merciful and reveal your form of being a bestower. Om Shanti.
Merciful and bestower, unending, constant bestower. Any child who came in front of Brahma Baba did not go away without some experience. In the same way, check whether you gave something to whoever came in front of you, or whether that person went away empty-handed. Those who are full of treasures cannot stay away without giving to others. So become an unending, constant bestower. रहम दिल दातापन अखुट अखंड दाता जैसे ब्रह्मा बाप के सामने कोई भी बच्चा आया तो कुछ न कुछ अनुभूति के बिना खाली नहीं गया। ऐसे आप भी चेक करो कि जो भी आया मिला, कुछ दिया, वह खाली गया। खजाने से जो भरपूर होते हैं वह देने के बिना रह नहीं सकते। तो अखुट अखंड दाता बनो। ओम शांति। Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar. Just to remind you all again, this Sunday is our Diwali day. We'll be celebrating and offering Diwali Bhog with Avyakti Parivar, Sunday 23rd of October in the evening with Avyakti Parivar. Please save the date and be with us. And bring one diya, we'll light it together on Diwali day. Tomorrow is Friday and we'll continue with our regular schedule from Amrit Vela till night. Thank you. Om Shanti. Now let's remember Baba and take Drishti from Didi.
Om Shanti. Good night, everyone. Om Shanti. Good night.